Hello. I don't know if you can hear, but the bells are chiming, which means it is officially time for me in Colchester today to do you a lovely live. Now we're having a little bit of a replay today, so we have the beautiful Aria bracelets using the Amos beads. We've added in some lovely new colourways for you. So there are 2 original colours still available and 4 new for you to choose from. And each bracelet kit is going to make up 4 new bracelets. And you've got 4 different colours of bead in there as well. I know my face is small in the corner. There's my comments. Good morning to Rachel. Oh, see, Kitty uses a different platform for me, so I can see your pictures so much clearer on here. So as you can see already down on the mat, we have some beautiful bracelets. Do I go a little bit zoomed in? I'll leave it as this. I'm hoping it's clear. Let me know. Hopefully you can see me okay, you can hear me okay. So we did do some original colours. I don't know if I've got all the original samples here. I should do. So I had some lovely kind of spring coloured ones. They just fit together really lovely. So if there's any technical errors today, if there's an issue where I suddenly disappear or you can't hear me or whatever, if you go onto the Totally Beads website, there is a video already there from last time. I'm just going to be doing exactly the same technique but with some lovely new colours. So I will try and show you the website. Good morning to Carol, how are you doing? Camille's in as well, she's saying good morning, how are you? I'm okay, I'm a little tired. I've had a very busy weekend. I come down on Friday afternoon. I got to the warehouse about 3 o'clock. Now, as a busy little bee, we went home. I'm not very loud. I've got no idea how to make that louder. I could speak this way. I think this is the microphone. I do apologise if I'm not very loud. I wouldn't even have a clue how to make it louder, Camille. I really wouldn't. So yeah, came down on Friday, got busy, started making, was there all day Saturday, all day Sunday. I've put loads of projects together. Should take me up to autumn. I've got all the summer planned and ready to go. So I filled a massive box at the warehouse, which hopefully Simon will be sending up to me today. If you managed to get to the NEC, I hope you said hello to him. I've not seen him all weekend. I'm sure he's been very busy. Good morning to Jan. Right, let's see. Can I take you over to the web? Did that work straight away? Oh, I'm going to have to get myself this set up because it just seems a lot easier. She says, trying to find the mouse. Okay, scroll down on totallybeads.co.uk. You can see there's various different ways to get into the video tutorial section. And you can see if we click here, yay! I've got a little box in the middle as well. So today is the Aria Amos bracelet. So we're using the Amos Puca beads. And you'll see our original video here. So if you need to, I think that one was the original one. I think one of them's the original one. You'll be able to watch that back as well if you need be. So you can see we've got lots of lovely colours for you today. There is 20% off. I'll speak a little louder just in case there's an issue with the sound. Good morning to Kim, who's in Tennessee in the USA. Good morning to Yolanda. She says, good morning, happy Monday. It's 2 minutes past 6 here in Michigan. Miss you coming on at 5 in the morning. Well, our clocks are going to be springing forward soon, so that will change your time as well. I'd imagine, Yolanda, when we're on. We're always 10 a.m. UK time. Good morning to Christine, who's in a cloudy Darlington. Kay says it's hard to hear me as well. I don't know how to get any louder, so I'm just going to speak a little bit louder and hopefully it'll be okay. So you can see we've got all these lovely colours for you today. Each kit is £15.99, which means we've got 20% off for you. So 2 of the original colours and 4 new colours, each kit making 4 bracelets. I'm not going to go into all of them, I'll just show you here. You can see there's 4 different colours that make up these bracelets, so you can do lots of different things. I literally just swap them over and they fit in together nicely. But if you wanted to, you could make kind of an ombre effect. So say for example you chose the golden sunlight, you might want to have all the browns running together against the bronzes and then into the golds. And you can see these are the beautiful beads that I'm using in this kit. You might also want to do them so you're pairing them together, so you can make like a little heart shape. You could do all sorts of different things with them. So these 3 here you might want in the same colour and then using a different colour alternating through, or you might want to make them all in one colour. You could do that as well, and then obviously you're going to get plenty in your kit. Good morning to Kath, I hope you're okay, coming to see you soon. So £15.99 today, 20% off your kits. You're making 4 bracelets. We've got the sunlight, golden sunlight, we've got the green gold, we've got plum shades, we've got romantic violet, we've got silver blue, and we've got copper bronze. So in each of your kit they will come with different coloured findings. Some will be on silver, some will be on rose, some will be on champagne, some will be on gold. And you're getting 4 different colours of your beautiful beads. So you're going to get 4 packs of your Amos beads in 4 different colours. You're going to get your Tigertail. I'm using 2 lengths at about 8 inches of Tigertail, or 20 centimetres, so 40 centimetres in total, or about 16 inches of the Tigertail. That's all going to be included, that's per bracelet by the way, that's all going to be included in your kit. You're going to get your jump rings, which are 6x1 outer diameter, your culottes, your Lobster Clasp, which is 12 millimeters, and your crimp beads, and that is all you need. Yeah, pretty sure that's all you need to make these lovely bracelets. So that is going to be the same in each of your kits. The only thing that will differ will be the colour of your findings, and of course the different colours of those beautiful bracelets. So I'll have a quick look and you can see it's going to be a quick make today. I've got a train to catch, but you can see I love the colours on that one. You've got these kind of they're like blush tones, purples, pinks, but they've got little gold speckles and finishes on them, like a little metallic look. So they're really, really pretty. Again, if you want to see exactly what colours you're getting, you can scroll down there and see. So 20% off your kits today. Each kit is £15.99, and that is making up 4 bracelets. So now, here's the challenge: how to stop sharing the screen. Oh dear, Kitty's not in, so let me try and oh, here we go, yeah. So let's get making. As I say, quick make today, really straightforward. I'm going to be demoing with the lovely blue colour that we've got here, which is called, what did we name this one? Silver blue. So these are the colours in my silver blue, and all I tend to do is I'm going to alternate them. So I'm going to choose which order I want them in. So I'm going to go for the silvery blue, the light blue, the kind of almost hematite colour, and then that kind of darker shade of blue there. So I open out all of my little bags and I put them in a line so I can see what I'm using, and then I can remember that order. So as you see, they kind of fit into each other. There's all sorts you can do with the shape of these beads if you want to. I have done earrings with them as well before. We've made like little flower shapes, and we just pop them together like so in a little circle. You could do little half circles. So I did the earrings with some wire, I think, and they're just a really, really lovely shape. The good thing as well with this bracelet is you string each one through both holes as you go. So every now and again, look at that, that's gorgeous. I'm sure Kitty's used these 100 times as well. You can see there's 2 holes in each of the beads. So if every now and again you might come across one which has got like a little blockage, you can always just pop that one to the side and get another one out. You don't have to unstring it. Camille's asking, is she walking Roxy? No, she's not. She's at university this morning. Roxy is asleep on the floor behind me, being a good girl. It's just me and you kids, isn't it? Yeah. Good morning to you, Mina. She says Kitty set up has a low volume. Well, I'll try and speak a little louder. Teresa says she can hear me just fine. I'm just soft. When you move towards the mic, you got louder. Perhaps move it closer to you. I don't want to break anything. Is that better? And then the camera's not right. I'll speak to the microphone. Come on, Nat. You wouldn't think I had a degree in film, television and media stuff, would you? Right, so here we go. I'm going to cut 20 centimetres. Oh my goodness. I don't know what that was, but something's fallen. So 20 centimetres of Tigertail at 2 lengths. Roxy's going to investigate for me. What is it, babe? What have I broke? And so that is 8 inches each, there or thereabout. And this is going to make about I think it's about a 7.5 inch bracelet. Of course, if you want to make it longer, you just cut more Tigertail and add more beads. If you want to make it smaller, just add less. It's as straightforward as that. It's just a really easy stringing project. So I'm cutting my 2 lengths of Tigertail. It's a little bit curly because it's just come off my reel, which I've stored in a little bag on the way down here. But I'm going to want that curve in my bracelet anyway, so I'm not too concerned about that. So I'm going to take 2 of the ends up together. Mina says Natalie has cleared the warehouse this weekend. I've put 46 projects together with a couple of suggestions. So 2 lives a week. I worked at a pace. I mean, I don't, by the time we got to Sunday, who knows what I've put together. We'll see. You'll be thinking towards the end of September, October, what is this? I'm sure they're all beautiful. I've got time to tweak them. So culotte on to the end of both pieces of Tigertail. And I'm going to slide that up after I've put my crimp beads on. So I'm going to double crimp as always, just to make sure it's nice and sturdy. So I'm placing those crimp beads onto both pieces of the Tigertail. You can stagger them if it's easier. I could probably zoom in a little bit more, but I don't want to because I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil what I've got. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Good morning, Anne. I hope you're well. So I'm going to slide that last crimp bead I put on right to the end. These are not my tools, and that is not working. I'm not used to these things. Let's try the others. So 2 crimp beads on. Let's try these pliers instead. I'm going to slide that right up to the end and give it a little flatten down. And then I'm going to take the others, crimp bead, and I'm going to slide that right up to the last one. And I'm going to flatten that down as well. Oh, isn't it funny when you get used to certain things and then you use different tools and all goes awry. Now I've got a tiny little bit of Tigertail just sticking out the end there. So I am going to just trim those little bits off with the cutters. I'm going to attempt to. Why is nothing working? I mean, it'll do, it's close enough, but I just wanted a more neat finish. Let's rummage in Kitty's tools and see what else we've got to play with. So I would attempt to cut that little bit of Tigertail off just at the end, but it doesn't want to cut. Well, this is how sturdy the Tigertail is. There we go. And then I'm going to slide my culotte right up to the end over those 2 crimp beads. I really should try and zoom in a little bit more, shouldn't I? Let's try that one. Is that getting any closer? I'll just move it up. And then I'm going to fold the culotte over and then press it down gently. And that's just going to close it up. Mina says, I was making brownie bracelets last night in a tropical sea kit and I loved it. I just need to do something after an emotional week of losing my cousin. Mina, I'm sending you loads of love, sweetheart. I'm so very sorry for your loss. You look after yourself and do some crafting, distract yourself, and send us a message. I'm on the train today, so my signal's not great, but you know I'm here if you want to chat, my darling. Esther says, good morning. Oh, of course, happy St. Patrick's Day to you all from Adult and Cole Preston. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you all, Esther, and also to all of my Irish family. I don't know what day it is, to be honest, so I've missed a trick there. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to start sliding on my beads. So I'm going to get a little pile out of each colour, and I'm just going to make it to whatever length I want, really. So I tend to lay all of my beads out in the order I want to put them on, so I don't get too distracted. And again, you know, play around with the shapes that you can make with these. So I'm going to start off with one of the silver ones. It doesn't matter which way round you put it, if you want it facing up or facing down, but I'm just going to slide both pieces of the tiger tail through both holes in the bead, and I'm going to push that down towards the culotte. I then give it a little pull on one side just to get it closer to that culotte, so it sits slightly at an angle, really. And if you wanted to, you could always pop a little seed bead or a crystal or something on there, but as I add more of them on, it will just fit nice and snugly towards that culotte there at the bottom. And then I'm going to take my next bead, which is this lovely light blue colour, and I'm sliding that on, only this time I'm going to pop it in the opposite direction. So this time I'm going to have my point facing downwards. Again, just sliding that on and push that up, so you can see that they just lock together really lovely. Mina says, I didn't do too much during the week, but in the weekend making jewellery helped me. I mean, this is I think why a lot of people do jewellery making, isn't it? Or any craft really. It's that little bit of you time. I was saying to Kitty over the weekend, like, I've been working with Totally Beads now for 4 years, which is just incredible. And it's, you know, I started during lockdown, I started making, and I did it just to keep me occupied, to keep me busy, to give me a little bit of me time, and I can't imagine not doing it now. It's just an absolute part of me. So each time you're popping your colour on, your next bead on, just be mindful of which direction it's going to sit, because we want them all to lock into place. And if I've laid my beads out on the table in advance, then I know what colour repetition I'm doing. But of course you don't have to alternate between the colours. As I've said before, you could make them all in the silver, or all in a blue, or all, like, you know, in whatever one colour you choose. You're going to get plenty in your kit. And you could also just alternate between 2 colours or make little shapes in between them. But just making sure that I'm putting one up and one down will lock them in place. If I am alternating between the colours in this way, then what I will find is all of the first colour and the third colour will sit in the same direction. So in this case, all of my silvers are going to be pointing downwards. All of my kind of hematite coloured ones, that very dark kind of shimmery black blue, is going to be pointing down, and then my 2 more true blue ones are going to be pointing upwards. That's just the pattern that I've chose to put them on. So there's no right or wrong way. If I have a little look at this bracelet, which is the same colours, you'll see I've put them in a different order. So you can play about with your design. Each bracelet you make, you can do completely different from the next. So you're going to be making 4 in each of your kits today. Make the most of that 20% off as well. Everyone's sending you lots of love, Mina. So just keep stringing on. Going for the darker one. And as I say, every now and again you might get a bead which has got a little blockage in, or one of the holes isn't fully drilled through. I haven't found it so far But I know last time I made it, and I made it on the live, I did find one, and that's not an issue at all because I'm stringing on at the same time. Often, oh, who was it? Someone, bless them, the other day was making something, and they had a bit an issue with, I think it was a stitch beading project they were doing, and I don't know what they were using, but it was a 2-hole bead, and then they got right to the end, and the bead didn't have the drill hole, but they persevered and they managed to unblock it, so they didn't have to undo their whole project. We've all been there, but with this bracelet it really doesn't matter because you're doing both holes at the same time, if that makes sense. So now I've used that lovely kind of navy colour, I'm going back to the original colour. Have I put them on the wrong order? No, I don't think so. It doesn't really matter. So I'm just stringing through, and if I keep my tiger tail on the table flat as I go, I can see that I'm going through the wider pear-shaped part on this one. So it's going to go through the top piece of tiger tail, and then the next one I'm going to use the pointed part through the top piece. So nice beginner make again today. They were very popular. I know we took the original colours to, I was there when we went to the Haydock Beads Up North event a little while ago, and they were popular sellers. Simon took some of the kits down there, which is really lovely. I get very excited when I see people making something that I've put together, or wearing something that I've put together. Obviously I make jewellery. I was making jewellery myself to sell, and it's amazing when I think, you know, I've got people wearing something I've made in various different places around the world. That gets me very excited. But doing this and making kits and projects up for Totally Beads is really lovely, because I don't have to make it. I just make the samples, and then you go and do your own thing, and then you send me pictures, hopefully, of what you've done with it and how much better you've improved it, and that makes me very, very happy. So it's been a very productive, nice weekend. I am looking forward to getting home, seeing my boys, and I might have a cheeky glass of wine as well. I know it's Monday, but I have been working very hard all weekend, so I think I'm allowed. I'm gonna head back after this, walk to the station and get the train back home. So I'm hoping all the connections run smoothly and I get to get home in time for tea, or dinner as I know most other people refer to it as. Let me just check that one's on the right way. Yeah, so I need that pointing down. Yolanda, have a lovely, lovely week. I hope work goes well for you, my love. I'm only seeing the odd comment that pops up. I'm not going to even attempt to scroll back in case I mess it up. But of course, if you've got any questions, then do let me know. I will, of course, be sharing the video afterwards. So if you can't watch us live, you can always catch up. And of course, it will be on the website as well. So I'm going for the blue one now. Not even checked really to see if it is completely in the right colour pattern, but I guess I'll get to keep this one for myself, so it doesn't matter. But I love the tones and the beads in this one. You'll know if your tiger tail's twisted and it's on the wrong way, you'll know instantly. You just need to slide it off and slide it back on again. It's a very easy fix, but you'll just know that the points just don't pull together. So it is a nice quick make, a nice easy make. As I say, it's very beginner friendly. All we're doing is stringing and because you've got those double holes in the beads, you don't have to, you know, run your thread back through or anything like that. I find using Tigertail, you could use any threading material that you preferred with this. You could do elastic with it, you could do kind of like a thread stitch if you prefer, but using the Tigertail and using 2 pieces means I don't have to run that thread back through the thread path or anything like that. I'm just going to attach my finishing culottes at the end and it's complete, and it's nice and sturdy as well, having the Tigertail. So I hope you've all had a nice weekend. Has anyone been making anything particularly interesting or exciting? Rachel says, I expect your son misses you, Natalie. Well, my husband works away an awful lot, has been doing this year, so it's usually Dad that's away and just me and the boy. We go and pick him up from the station and he gets very excited. So I'm hoping he's I mean, I hope he's not missed me too much. I know he's had fun with his cousins and things this weekend, but yeah, very much looking forward to seeing him. Has been nice though to get a full night's undisturbed sleep. And I've had some very yummy food while I've been here as well, to be honest. Hello Phoenix Creations, how are you doing? I have an email from you, so I will check that on the train on the way home and try and respond to you, my love. I know you've been busy making. Camille says, I've just made a couple of cards and a very colourful set of beads. Oh, I seen your make, you shared it on the handmade page. They were very, very pretty. I'm hoping I've not missed any comments. So just keep going with this till you've got the length that you want. I can't remember how many I said I used originally. I think it was 12 of one colour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. See, I do remember stuff. I don't know when we made this last. It was quite a little while ago, I think. Good few summers ago. So how many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you want about a 7.5 inch bracelet, you're probably going to use about 12 of each colour. I've messed my little pile up now, so I've kind of got into a rhythm of what colours I was using. Let me just pop them back there so I can... That's not right, is it? Silver. Ah, it is. They're just the wrong way. Blue. Dark. And blue. There you go. So after silver, I've gone for this. Look at that. It's like a turquoisey colour. It's so pretty. I know the light's not showing it properly because I've not zoomed in quite as much as I probably should have done. Good morning to Edward. How are you doing? Phoenix has made a peacock inspired earrings and she says she's very excited that they actually worked. I've seen them. I've seen that you're in my inbox, but I've not had a look yet, so I'll try and open it and have a little look on the way home. I've got quite a long journey and a little bit of a wait at the station, so I'm going to ring my mum and have a little catch up. So you can see there's nothing technical at all with this make. You're just positioning the beads the way you want them to be, in the colour order that you want them to be. But I do think it would be nice, you know, if you're making like little heart shapes or something in them. They just fit lovely together. You could have Phoenix used these. I mean, it'd be a tiny peacock, but you could use them as like a little peacock tail fan, which would be quite nice, wouldn't it? I think I've got the wrong colour there, haven't I? I don't know what I'm doing now. Yeah, I've definitely got the wrong colour. So after the light blue, we've got the dark blue. Is that right? We've got the hematite one. So if you just have your bags laid out in front of you, you literally just pick it up and off you go. I love the fact I've said it's not a complicated make and I still managed to mess up my colour pattern. I'm not concentrating. I do like the fact you can hear the bells from here. So Colchester is a very lovely town. I don't know whether it was the original capital, but it's one of the oldest towns in England. So it's got a lot of history. Kitty's got a very lovely townhouse. It's very old. I think it's about 250 years old. And it's just gorgeous. I love this room. Every time I'm here, I'm like, it's like an Aladdin's cave. There's beads and all sorts everywhere. And she's got loads of making magazines and books. I'm very envious of her storage. But I often feel inspired when I'm here, not just creating, but also thinking, how can I organise my things when I get home? They will usually just live in a box, but it's an organised box, so I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I know, Felix, I've just had to go backwards a little bit there. Okay, so this is the first one I've come across where you can see there's a little blockage in that drill hole. I think, given the fact it's fine on that side, if I was to push a little needle through it, and Kitty's so organised, there's one just there, it will, there you go, it will go through. But if it doesn't, just pop it to the side and you can always make something else that doesn't involve using those two holes. So I think if I am making this for me, I don't need it very long. So I think I will just do a couple more on there and then we'll finish off. Just keep sliding them up next to each other. After the silver, I'm going to name them. I think it's easier for me to just make up a name of what it's called. They do have technical names with them, but I'm going to say it's the turquoisey looking one. It's not quite turquoise, it's not quite baby blue. In fact, I can tell you exactly, I think. So the colour of this one, I think, is the metallic matte blue. This one is blue ceramic. That one's silver aluminium matte. And this one is hematite. Phoenix says, I live out of a box too. Hidden under the dining chairs. I got 2 boxes made by a veteran buddy of the hubby. And he's made her a toolbox and a storage box to fit under the table. Well, you've got to utilise the space that you've got, haven't you, really? I wouldn't call it a spare bedroom. Well, there's no bed in it. I wouldn't really even call it a box room because it's very, very, very small. It's got a little wardrobe in it, and then it's just got boxes and boxes. It's got a fan in it for the summer, but you literally can't get to the floor. So I really do need to have a proper sort out. But it's so time consuming. It is really therapeutic though. So I did joke that this year my New Year's resolution would be to sort out a bag of stuff and get rid of a bag every week. And in regards to baggage, I feel like I had a bit of a shaky start to this new year. I know we're already nearly at the end of March, but I just found that I just got more emotional baggage, if anything. But you know, we're plodding on, we're getting there. I'm creating and that's making me happy. So I will get round to it at one point. Okay, so slide on as many beads as you want. I think this is going to be more than enough for me. If you want, you can start it at the same point, or you can get that pattern. How long is this? Let's see. Yeah, when I add the clasp on, this is going to fit me lovely. So when you've added all of your beads on, you can see they're sitting in this lovely, lovely little row. Camille says, it was the colours that attracted me. It was in the card making section as a decoration. And Phoenix says, you could say we have a couple of spare bedrooms upstairs, but I think the boys who live in the flat above would disagree. So put all your colours on in the order that you want to. It's fairly easy to check your pattern at the end, because as I say, these two colours, if you're alternating like I am, should all be at the top running one direction, and then your other two colours should all be alternating in the opposite direction at the bottom. So silver hematite, so on and so forth. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add another one of my culottes on, and I'm going to slide the culotte up the hole. So my two pieces of Tigertail going up through the hole in that culotte, and of course I'm making sure that it's facing the opposite direction. Oh, it's made that lovely little wiggle. Oh, there's all sorts you could do with these beads. I am going to push it down fairly close towards that last bead. They are the Amos Puca beads. So I'm going to pop it close to there. I'm going to get my crimp beads out. I'm going to double crimp again. Hopefully I'll be able to get it with the pliers. And I'm just going to pop it down. Now, if you want to, of course, you can crimp your crimp bead like it's meant to be. I'm just going to flatten mine out. So I'm going to take a pair of pliers. I'm going to push that culotte down towards the bottom, and then I'm just going to flatten that crimp. It doesn't really matter if my crimp beads aren't neat. I don't need to use any kind of crimp covers. They're all going to be hidden by that culotte. And then I'm going to slide the next crimp bead down and make sure it is sitting close to the last one. And again, I'm just going to flatten it down. And what this is going to do, it's going to trap the tiger tail. Hopefully it won't crush the tiger tail, but it's just going to lock itself in place. And then with my cutters, I should be able, if these are sharp enough, to trim off close to the crimp bead any excess tiger tail. I'm going to close it over with my fingers, so I've got those crimp beads just sitting inside of that little rounded section. Gentle press down, gentle but firmly, just to close that culotte over fully. And then my two little loops at the end are lined up nicely, so I can take two pairs of pliers and just add on my clasp. So I'm going to go for my jump ring, which is a 6 by 1 outer diameter, which I think is a 4 by 1 inner diameter. I'm just going to add one jump ring onto one side and wiggle that closed. And then I'm going to get my Lobster Clasp out, which is 12mm in size. You can add whichever clasp you want. If you preferred, you know, a toggle clasp or a magnetic clasp, you could actually, you know, swap that out if you've got one in your stash that you prefer. And then I'm just going to add the Lobster Clasp onto the jump ring on the other side, close that over, and then as I bring that round, my Lobster Clasp will just, oh, have I picked up, there you go. The Lobster Clasp will just open up and it will just slide in to the jump ring, and there is your lovely bracelet. It will sit nice and flat on your wrist because those beads are just going to sit lovely together. You can see they're not very wide, so it just fits lovely on your wrist. Rachel says she's loving the blues. there are lots of lovely colours for you to choose from today. So we've got 2 of the original colours, and we've also got 4 brand new colours today for you, which you can choose from. So we have the golden sunlight, a green gold, a plum shades. We've got violet, romantic violet. This one here is silver blue, and we've got a copper bronze as well. So that's the one that we've just made in a different colour. You can see they're really, really gorgeous. They are £15 and 99p. And that's going to make 4 bracelets up in your kit. We do ship worldwide. I don't think that colour is available. I think that one's one of the original ones. Sheila says, lovely bracelets, and I like the combination of colours. You know, don't forget, you don't have to mix them. I think they look lovely mixed. You could put all of one colour travelling through into the other, so you can kind of ombre it if you wanted to. You could just pick out one colour and make it all as one. There's plenty there to have a little play with. Kay says, thank you, very pretty. You're very, very welcome. And I thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to be back with you on Wednesday. I'm going to be making some little stitch beaded earrings on Wednesday. They are extremely simple, because you know, if I'm doing any kind of stitch, then it's a straightforward one. We've got 2 colours of beads in your earring kit. Can't remember what I've called them. And you can do, I'd say you can do 2 different designs. You can make a larger one or a smaller one, but I actually kind of made an error on one, so technically you can make 3 different designs out of those earrings on Wednesday. So if you want to come and see, maybe I'll make a completely new design up on the hop. You can come and join me then. Kentisbury says, love the bracelet, and better on a wire. What about using memory wire? I guess you probably could use memory wire. Yeah, I think you could use pretty much anything with this, as long as it's going to go through the drill hole in the bead. Yeah, you could use memory wire, I reckon definitely use elastic with it. I'd probably use a flat floss elastic. You might get a 0.6 elastic through. You could do whatever you want with it. Whatever you do with it though, please share. I'd love to see what you've made. Thank you all for wishing me a safe journey home, and providing I can end the stream, yeah, I will see you all on Wednesday. So